This is an exercise in your homework for section 2.4 that says that the mean value of land and buildings per acre from a sample of farms is $1,400. So that is our, not our mu, but our x bar is $1,400. And a standard deviation of $200. So the standard deviation of this sample is 200. The data has a bell-shaped distribution. Assume that the number of farms in the sample is 79. So that's our n. Now you'll notice I've drawn a bell-shaped curve. We'll learn a lot more about this in a later unit. It's called a normal distribution. And whatever the mean is, that is always at the center of the distribution. So we were told that the mean is 1,400, therefore 1,400 is at the center. The standard deviation that we're given is 200. So you notice that I count out 200 above 1,400. That's one standard deviation above the mean. 200 above that is two standard deviations above the mean, and so on. When I go below the mean, if I go 200 below the mean of 1,400, I'm at 1,200. If I go another standard deviation, I'm at 1,000. And if I go a third standard deviation, I'm at 800. So the question says to use the empirical rule. Now the empirical rule with normal distributions is also called the 68-95-99-7 rule. And this is what it tells us. I'm going to start with 68. If I go out one standard deviation below the mean and one standard deviation above the mean in a normal distribution, I should have about 68% of my observations will lie within that interval. If I go out two standard deviations below the mean and two above, again in a normal distribution or bell-shaped, I should have about 95% of my data within that interval. And if I go three standard deviations below the mean and above the mean in a normal distribution, I should find about 99.7% of my observations. And again, this is true for a normal distribution, and this is normal because we were told it's bell-shaped. So they ask us to use the empirical rule to estimate the number of farms whose land and building values per acre are between 1,000 and 1,800. So 1,000 is right here. 1,800 is right here. Well, you notice that those both are two standard deviations from the mean. 1,000 is two standard deviations below, and 1,800 is two standard deviations above. So two standard deviations above and below the mean in a normal distribution should be about the middle 95%. So in this interval, I should find 95%. 95% of 79, and 79 is the number in my sample that was given to me right here, can be found by merely multiplying 95% expressed as a decimal, 0.95, by 79. And that will be your answer.